Have you ever wondered how to tap into the wisdom of the universe, to receive guidance that could change your life if only you knew how to receive it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to take you through a simple yet powerful process called automatic writing. It's going to help you connect to your higher self, your spirit guides, source, your creativity, and help you get those answers that you're looking for. So in this video, I'm going to take you through what automatic writing is, the benefits of it, how to do it safely, tips on how to do it that will make it a lot easier than, than what you might have already experienced. The main tip that I have for you though is how to get that mind clutter out before you automatic write to make it a more impactful experience. And then I'm going to give you my 3-step process that I use almost every single day for automatic writing. If you've watched any of my videos where I've channeled Archangel Michael, those are all done through automatic writing. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to give you a handful of prompts that will help get you started. So let's jump in. So what is automatic writing? Well, simply put, automatic writing, which has been around for centuries, is a form of channeling. You are channeling that divine wisdom through you and either onto your paper or keyboard, and you're receiving that wisdom, that divine wisdom from whoever it is that you're calling in. And we'll talk about that in just a second. And so this is just another way to set aside your conscious mind and receive rather than think. You're not the one thinking, you're just simply allowing yourself to bring in that information, that knowledge, those messages through you, and like I said, onto that paper or keyboard. So that's what automatic writing is. It's another form of channeling. So now that you know what automatic writing is, why bother? Why bother actually doing automatic writing? Well, there's a few reasons. One of the reasons is clarity or help with an issue. If you're looking for help with something that's going on with your life, you need clarity about your next steps, you are looking for assistance with how to solve a problem, it could be anything. It could be about work, it could be about a colleague, your boss, a loved one, a relationship, just anything that you're struggling with. If you are needing clarity and guidance, that is a great time to use automatic writing. Another one is around decisions. Maybe it's not an issue that you're experiencing, but you need help with a decision. You're really not sure, to go left or to go right. You can ask your guides for assistance with that. They're not going to tell you what to do, but they're going to give you information that could help you make that decision. And the other one is if you're trying to, let's say, solve a work problem, or you're trying to be in a creative mind space. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you're trying to draw a masterpiece and you're not really quite sure where to start. Connect to that divine connection, like just tap into it and allow that to flow through you to create your work of art, to solve that problem with the project that you're having, or to, write that essay or university piece, high school piece, work piece report that you're supposed to, that you're having trouble finding the words to write. That is also a great time to use automatic writing. So when you're using automatic writing, who are you actually calling in? Well, you want to do it safely. You want to connect with high vibrational beings. And like I said before, that could be your higher self, your spirit guides, a particular guide. If you have somebody in mind that you want help from, you can ask for them. You can ask for God to step forward and to support you. The next question is it safe? Am I opening myself up to energies or entities that are not of the light that I need to be worried about? Is this going to harm me in some way? And even if you don't think that you have a fear, it might be subconscious and it might be holding you back from being able to do this the way that you want to do it. So what is my advice for this? There are a few tips that I have that can help protect you. So set up a protective practice as you're embarking on automatic writing and any other channeling endeavors, right? So let's get into those tips. The first one is through intention. Our thoughts carry so much power. So by simply thinking and saying out loud, I intend to connect with only beings of love and light that are serving God's plan, that are of the highest energy and frequency. And simply, it doesn't have to be those exact words, but simply stating something like that sets the intention right out of the gate that these are your boundaries. Nothing else can get through those boundaries. And that is what you are intending for this session and beyond. Okay, so through our intention, we set up those boundaries, and that acts as protection. The next tip is to actually call upon a being that can act as a protector. And the number one being that comes to my mind is Archangel Michael. He is a protector angel. So simply calling him into your space when you are going to be doing automatic writing will help you. You could say something like, Archangel Michael, I call upon you to be in my space while I'm doing this automatic writing practice. Please guard me and keep any beings that are not of the light away from me while I'm opening myself up during this sacred practice. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Again, doesn't have to be those words, but simply asking for him to be there to help you. He can be there and help you. Through our free will, we have to ask for that help. So that's the second tip. The third one is creating a sacred space. So what does that even mean if you aren't familiar with sacred spaces? It could be whatever you want it to be, really. It could be a separate room in your house. It could be just a portion of your room, like the corner of your bedroom, if you want it to be. And setting up that sacred space will help kind of create this container for where you are intending and saying, I am safe when I'm in this space. Nothing can get to me when I'm in this space. And you can do that through like making it a high vibrational space for you, whatever makes you happy, whether it's comfortable pillows and blankets. You can have crystals, protective crystals in there. You could have pictures that make you feel really happy, like if you want a picture of, let's say, Mother Mary or Jesus or the archangels, if you have oracle cards that have images that really make you feel good, put those oracle cards up and around your sacred space. You could also have incense or sage, smoke, right? You could have that going before you do your automatic writing practice so that it can clear the energy and also signify that that space is now protected. So you're creating that sacred space and it's going to look however you want it to look. The last tip that I have around creating this protection is to do the pillar of light. If you're not familiar with the pillar of light, you can listen to the meditation that I created. It's just a few minutes long, but essentially you are going to be calling up the energy from Mother Earth. You're going to be calling down the energy from God, and you're going to be running that through your body and creating like a shield of energy around you using that energy. And so Pillar of Light is a great one to use as you're embarking on this practice. So that is how you protect yourself from any energies that you're not wanting in your space, and to open yourself up subconsciously so that you're not fearing what's about to happen. What are some other tips that I have for you that will make automatic writing super, super, super simple? Well, I've got a few of them for you. So the first one is going to add on to what I just mentioned about the sacred space. The sacred space not only creates a protective area for you, but it also creates a muscle memory. When you go into this space, you're automatically getting into this frame of mind that this is what I'm about to do. And you start to open up. And as you practice in your sacred space, that connection happens a lot faster and you trust it. The thing that you can add to this is having a dedicated pen and a dedicated journal that will help that muscle memory. So when you see those two things, you're like, oh, this is what we're about to do. And you make that connection and like anchors it into you. Pick a journal that makes you happy. I am a journal addict. I have so many journals, and let me share with you what I mean. So this one is the one that I use when I'm automatic writing with Archangel Michael. And then I have other ones for other guides, Ascended Masters, God. This one's so pretty. And then I've got ones back there on my shelf. Yeah, I got a lot of journals. I love them. They make me so happy. And so you want a journal that makes you happy. You look forward to touching it, opening it up, and writing in it. That is going to help you to have that muscle memory and be in a more positive space when you're going to do this. My next tip for you is to start with pen and paper. I know it's tempting to start on a keyboard and just be more efficient and do this on a laptop or whatnot, but pen and paper is so much easier. Humans have been using pen and paper far longer than they've been using computers, and there's something about allowing that energy to flow into your hand onto that paper. So if you have tried this before with computer, put the computer aside and try it with your pen and paper. If you're just starting and you've never done this before, start with pen and paper. I still only use pen and paper. I will not use my computer because it doesn't come through the same way for me. So that's my next tip. So my next tip for you is to be in a high vibe state and relaxed. So what does that look like? Well, if you've just had an argument with someone or you're having a really bad day at work, it's probably not the best time to try automatic writing because you are not in the right energy and it might be really hard to connect if you're feeling really negative. So you want to wait until you're in a more neutral space where you're feeling really, really good. If you're determined to do automatic writing, even though you're having a bad day, I would recommend trying to get yourself in a higher state of energy. And what can you do to do that? You can listen to music that makes you happy. You can dance to music that makes you happy. You can choose to think better thoughts and tell yourself, I'm just going to set aside the stuff that's making me crusty over here, and I'm going to think a better thought. And then you just start rhyming off like things that you're grateful for instance. You've heard how that can kind of build and snowball on itself, and then all of a sudden you're out of this negative zone and you're feeling really, really good. So start thinking better thoughts if you're determined to do this automatic writing. You can also go ground yourself outside, right? Go put your feet on the ground and just imagine that that negative energy is flowing away from you into the ground. Things like that can help you to become a little bit more high vibe if you're not feeling so nice. The other thing is you want to be relaxed. How do you do that? Well, slow breathing, right? Slow down your breathing. Let the breath go deep into your belly. So you could breathe in for 5, hold it for 5, and exhale for 7. So that's box breathing. And do that a few times until you feel yourself really relaxing and letting go of any parts of your day that have you kind of feeling scattered or intense. So that's my next tip, is make sure that you're high vibe and relaxed. The next one that you want to try is setting a timer for yourself. If you feel like you're going to put too much pressure on yourself for something to come through, sometimes setting a timer can actually help you to think, okay, I've only got this set amount of time. This is when I'm doing it, and go, right? And just having those borders can really help you to focus and take that pressure off yourself. So when the timer goes off, you think, okay, I'm done. I tried it today, and I'm going to come back and try it again tomorrow or the next day and make that timer longer every day. So first timer could be for 3 minutes, next one 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You get the idea. So use a timer to help set those guardrails for yourself so that you're not putting pressure to do something for like an hour. My next tip for you is to just write. Once we get into the process and you start actually trying this for yourself today, you want to allow yourself to just write. You're not going to think. Whatever you're receiving, you're going to put onto that paper. You're not going to check your spelling. You're not going to go back and make sure that the grammar sounds good. You're not going to correct yourself. You're just going to let it flow. And if there's spelling errors or grammatical errors, that's okay. It doesn't matter. You don't want to inhibit what's coming through by allowing the ego to come in and go, you made a mistake over there. Let's go back and fix it. No, you're just going to allow it to come through. As soon as you stop and go, oh, did I spell that right? Is that how you spell that word? Like it kind of, you're turning off the tap, right? So you want to keep that tap turned on and allow that to flow. So just allow it to flow, no corrections. My next tip for you is to surrender and have no expectations of what this is going to be like. Surrender that you are allowing the best to come through and it's for your highest and best good, and you're going to allow it, and have no expectations. Don't pressure yourself into what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be like anything. Everyone has a different experience. Everyone has a different way of receiving that connection or knowing that they are connecting. Everyone is at different stages of how connected they feel they are, right? Some people, like a switch just turns on for them and they like, boom, intuition, psychic skills, easy peasy. Other people, like me, have to kind of work at it and practice and get used to it and comfortable with it and then go, yeah, I can do this. And so have no expectations for yourself. Just allow what's coming through to come through. And my last tip, it's a big tip and it's something that people struggle with a lot, is that they have a lot of mind chatter. They call it the monkey mind. The monkey mind keeps talking and talking and talking, and it's hard to get that monkey mind kind of out of the way, especially if we are consumed with distractions. So how do you clear your mind of the clutter? I have something that you can do. And that is to write down all the things that you fear are going to be distractions for you. You're kind of taking what's in your subconscious and your conscious and you're putting it on paper. And that way you're setting it aside so that it doesn't get in the way when you're actually trying to allow that divine wisdom to come through you. What does that look like? Well, let's try two examples. Let's go back to the argument, okay? Actually, no. Let's say we're having a bad day at work. Boss is really intense, lots of things going on, not liking my boss right now, kind of thing. And you can write down on a piece of paper, boss, my boss. The next thing is you've got a big to-do list and you're kind of worrying about all these things that you have to get done. So on the paper, write to-do list. And let's say a third example is a project at work. Okay. So then write project at work. And what you're going to do is you're going to talk yourself through each one of these. So with respect to the boss, you could sit there and say, I know so-and-so is being really intense today. He's just trying to do his job, or she's just trying to do her job, and they're coming down pretty hard on me. I know I am a good employee. I know I'm doing what I have to do. And for now, while I'm giving myself the space to do automatic writing, I'm going to set aside the fact that my boss is being really harsh with me today. And so then you're going to write down, setting aside my boss. Okay. Next one. I know I have a lot on my to-do list and I actually don't know how I'm going to get it done, but I trust that I will be able to, and that I will have the help that I need to come through to help me to get through these to-dos. I'm going to find a way to prioritize it and knock out the ones that are most important. And right now, I know that I'm going to be doing this thing that's going to help me be more productive. So right now, I'm setting aside to-do list, and write that down. Set aside to-do list. Last one is your big project at work. Talk yourself through it. I've got this really big project at work and a lot of eyes are on it, and it's really critical that I do a good job, and it's really stressing me out. But right now, this practice that I'm doing, this automatic writing, is going to help me have clarity. And so it's actually helping me with this project. And so right now I'm going to set aside my project because I know that I'll be able to do an even better job after I do automatic writing. Setting aside project. Okay. So you're setting aside all those things. And when you're doing this, you're allowing your subconscious and conscious mind to kind of park it so that it's not trying to, hit your brain when you are in the middle of automatic writing, and your ego and your mind is going, hey, remember that thing that you're really supposed to be doing right now, and instead you're doing this. Like, you want to shut off that part of you. And by doing this, you're acknowledging those things and you're setting it aside. So that is my biggest tip for getting the clutter mind out of the way to be able to do automatic writing. So now we can actually try automatic writing. My 3-step process that I use every day is to prepare my energy, set my intention, and then connect and receive. And we've already talked about a few of the things that go into each one of these steps, but let's dive into them just for a few minutes so that you can get started and try automatic writing yourself today. First one is to prepare your energy. We've already talked about a few of the things that go into this. So what are they? You want to make sure that you are feeling good, that you're in a high vibrational state, that you're relaxed. You will likely want to go outside and ground your energy. So what you can do is go outside, put your feet on the grass. Imagine that your energy is being connected into the earth and that anything negative is washing away from you and going down into the core of Mother Earth. You can also imagine that there are roots coming down from your feet, going all the way down into earth and anchoring you into earth. So that is how you can ground your energy and just feel kind of secure in your body. The next way to prepare your energy is to do the pillar of light. So you want to either listen to that meditation that I mentioned earlier, or just imagine the energy coming from Mother Earth, kind of going up through you, all the way up to God, and then God's energy coming all the way through you, going down to Mother Earth, and then that energy kind of creates a shield all around you. That's the pillar of light. The other tip I have that will really prepare your energy before you start automatic writing is to get into a theta brainwave, to get into a theta state. And what you'll want to do around this one, I'm going to add it to the pillar of light meditation, is once you have that shield around you, you picture in your mind going back up to God's light. You go back up to that sparkly white light that is the energy of the Creator, and you imagine that you are there in that light, and that will help to get you into the right brainwave so that you can make an easier connection. So that's all preparing your energy. Step 2 is setting your intention. You want to go to your sacred space at this point, get your notebook ready, get your pen ready. You're already in this nice state. If you were outside, you've come inside now, and you're in your sacred space and you're getting ready. And you set the intention for who you want to connect with. This is the spot where you say, I'm only connecting to beings of the light. You call in Archangel Michael at this point and ask him to be there with you. And then you essentially say who you want to connect with. I intend to connect with my higher self today. I intend to connect with a guide who's serving the light that has a message for me today. I intend to connect with God today. Whoever you want to connect with, this is the time when you set that intention and the type of message that you're looking to receive. I'm looking for guidance. I'm looking to solve a problem. I'm looking for help with a decision. Just let them know. Like, imagine that there's like a whole boardroom of them, or like a whole room of them, and they're all kind of standing around thinking, okay, what does she want to know today? What does she need help with? And then as soon as you set your intention, they go, oh, okay, you come forward. She needs your help. So that's really the reason why you're doing this, right? So they know who to send forward to help you. So that is setting your intention. And then the last step is to connect and receive. So at this point, you have your notebook open, you have your pen ready. You're going to write a question at the top of your notebook. And in just a second, I'll give you some prompts that you can start with that can help you. And then what I like to visualize, this has worked for me, is that I close my eyes and I imagine that my crown chakra that's like sitting on top of my head, I imagine that it's opening, right? Like there's a zipper opening it and it's shining bright. And I picture an antenna that is receiving that divine guidance. And almost like electricity hitting the top of my head, I'm imagining these bolts of light, these bolts of divine wisdom coming down into my antenna, into my crown chakra. And then I trust, I let go and I trust, I surrender that I'm receiving what is for my highest and best good. So I write the question at the top of my notebook, and then I just start writing. And sometimes if I feel like I don't know what to write, I will begin to write whatever is coming to mind, right? Because sometimes we have a hard time, especially if this is the first time, differentiating what is your voice versus what is the voice of the divine. And it might not even be a voice, it might just be thoughts. And you think, I'm totally imagining this and this is totally not working, but I'm just going to say trust and write down whatever comes to mind. So sometimes I'll write, hello, I'm so glad you're here. We have a very important message for you today. And I'll just, even if it feels like I'm making it up, I just keep going with it. But when you read it back, you will realize you don't sound like that. And they might even use words that are not really in your vocabulary to highlight to you that it was them and not you. So at this point, you're just kind of writing whatever's coming to you, whatever's popping into your imagination, whatever thought or voice you're hearing, you're writing it down. And even if you think it's you, you're writing it down. You're not worrying about grammar. You're not worrying about spelling. You're not worrying about writing a story because you're not thinking. You're just receiving and allowing. And sometimes you're getting that content faster than you can write. That's okay. You can even say, can you please slow it down? I'm trying to, I can't keep up. You can ask them to slow it down so that you can keep up with the messages that are coming. And after you feel like it's complete or your timer has gone off, you say, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the guidance. I am now closing down this session and I appreciate your guidance. And you kind of close it down. You can go back outside and ground yourself. You can thank Archangel Michael for being in your session with you and protecting you. And then you can go back to what you were doing in your day to day. And that's really all that it takes. What are some prompts that can get you started with this practice? Well, I have a few. I'm going to read them off my screen because I don't have them memorized. So, what messages do my guides have for me today? What do I need to know that is for my highest good today? I love this one. I use this one a lot. What is the next step on my spiritual journey? You're kind of trying to keep it really open and wide. You can even say, what is the next step in my career? What do I need to know about my career? What do I need to know about this interview that I'm going on tomorrow? Like, you can make it however specific you want to make it. And the last one that I have for you is, how can I overcome the current challenge that I'm facing with respect to, and then you put down what the challenge is. The challenge that I'm facing about my job, my spouse, selling my house, my child, my career, and you can get specific with it. Remember though, Spirit cannot tell you what to do. They can only give you guidance that is for your highest and best good. You have free will, and so being here on earth, you get to choose your actions. But knowing what is going to lead to the best outcome is really, really helpful. So I hope you have found this video helpful. Let me know how your automatic writing practice went. I would love to know how it worked out for you. And please subscribe. I will see you in the next video.